Hey, welcome to the monthly astrology snapshot for the lunar month beginning at the new moon, coming up very soon in a few days in Libra. And honestly, this new moon feels like the peak of 2020. Astrologically, the way the cycles are moving, where this actual new moon is taking place, is activating the big dynamic that astrologers have been talking about all year, which kicked off earlier this year in January, the signature of this massive year of reset, restructuring, changing, or deeply transforming our relationship to power, to governance, to all the biggest structures that keep society together are being challenged this year. And this month, this new moon, it's like this peak, this potential tipping point. And I want to share that with you beautiful people that are listening to this, because if you're finding yourself uh, experiencing this at a personal level, which in some way we all will be, it's good to know that there's a bigger cycle at play. It's good to know that there is a meta cycle that is all about pressure, restriction. There is this, as I'm saying, this peak in the wave. The wave is getting ready to crash. There are bigger cycles at play that you will be feeling. Now, if you are feeling that at the individual level, I want to bring that in because today, Mercury is going retrograde. And this is happening in Scorpio. And Mercury will be retrograde until November 3rd. And when you have Mercury going retrograde through Scorpio, we're going to do a deep dive. We're going to go in and see what's buried down in our subconscious minds. So, of course, that's going to play out at an individual level, not the same for everyone. But if you're feeling that, put yourself into that context of that cycle as well. But for us at a collective level, there is some deep diving, and potentially we will see maybe through the media or maybe just through individuals going like what's really going on. It really feels as though maybe even lies are going to come up, especially once Mercury starts going direct again. And in early November, we may see some deeper agendas coming to light. This is why this month feels like a really climactic peak, like a tipping point. So the new moon in Libra, it is a potential for a reset at a personal level. And what I would suggest is at this new moon time, which is this weekend, really take some time to reflect on what's been going on for you in 2020. What has changed for you? What values or beliefs or, goals have been reset, restructured? What's changed? Really take some stock at this time. Really reflect on, okay, how much has changed? Well then, because new moons are always a time to seed in. It's a time to set goals, to realign yourself with your soul intention. So at this new moon in Libra, take stock, notice what's changed, and then maybe you're resetting your goals. You're resetting what you want from life. What is your priority? What does it mean to be you now that this pandemic has happened, that our world has changed, and it will not be the same. In fact, one of the fundamental laws of the reality we live in is change is constant. So, but we have lived through this year a visceral, overt change, not the subtle little changes that you can kind of just skip over. This is like, no, you got to pay attention this year. So at the new moon, take some time, reflect, reposition your goals if you need to, bearing in mind that Mercury will be still retrograde. So this is really inviting that deeper look, that deeper inquiry into what has changed on an internal level. Also remember, Mars is retrograde, and the way where he's positioned right now as I'm filming this is he's really squeezing in and honing in on these bigger change points. So we're still being encouraged, or we're not allowed to get away with skipping over it. So then we move into the full moon in Taurus, and this full moon is going to be conjunct Uranus. So this really speaks to massive uh, perception shifts. That's what I'm hearing right now. Shifts in the way you've been perceiving certain aspects of your life. So again, that new moon in Libra, let's reflect, let's do the deep dive with Mercury. Let's really look at what's going on inside, what's changed. And then at that full moon, you may find you're getting some insights. There's maybe something being revealed about how different your life is now and how different it could be, and to maybe even start getting some hits on what this may look like for you next year. So even though I feel like for me, and actually many astrologers are feeling the same that I speak to, that we are hitting this, peak, that's more in the collective. That's not necessarily you as an individual. So really observe what's going on in the media. Really watch for the spin. There's going to be even more spin. Like, this is that peak point. So there's going to be these last grasps at the old guard, at maintaining the status quo of what reality has been, these power structures that have supported not many of us, like a very small percentage, but we all contributed to this. And Mars, the revolutionary, going retrograde, doing 6 months in Aries, the initiator, the beginning point in the astrological wheel of the zodiac. It's like, here we are. Are we going to really, really support a revolution? And that is, yes, it's happening in the collective. Watch for the old guard trying to grasp at their last, anything they can to hold on to this old structure. But find where you are in that storyline for yourself. So it doesn't have to be that these bigger cosmic stories are necessarily yours at a personal level, but you can harness the energy. So, for you guys listening, if any of you have been having some ancestral past stuff coming up that's been like really over places where you've given your power away, or it was taken from you, or where you've been waiting for permission to be you, to live your life, this is a time to work with that. If you're one that's doing inner work on with any tradition, meditation, body work, you work with a therapist, a healer, really harness these cycles and allow that deep excavation to happen at a personal level. But you don't have to. It doesn't have to be like that. This is just for those that you are feeling some of this playing out internally. Work with it and know that this is permanent. Really allow this bigger restructuring of reality to support you at the individual level. And you can contribute to the new paradigms that will be kicking in next year. We are going to have a very different experience of reality in 2021. I am not saying it's going to all be good. However, it will be different. It will not be this big Capricorn restructuring. Those cycles will have completed by January. We have a new moon in January that has this invitation to really start exploring what we are post 2020, post COVID, post lockdowns. Who are we becoming as a species? And I feel that for some people on Earth, that's going to be extremely exciting, innovative. There'll be openings. And then for people that are invested in that Capricorn, top down, vertical, hierarchical structure in its shadow expression, they will struggle. They will really struggle. So at this time in your personal life, at this peak, lunar month, work with letting go of anything in you that's been invested in that, or been a victim to those top-down patriarchal structures that, have suppressed you. Let go of seeking permission, let go of waiting for validation, let go of the past and pain, reclaim your power, tune into Mars retrograde in Aries, and go for a revolution within. This is the time to do it. So next month will be eclipse month. It's going to be massive again. This feels like the peak. And then for me, how it feels is that next lunar month, in the 30th of November, we have a lunar eclipse. It's not a super strong one, but in context of these cycles and this year and the way the astrology is wired, it suggests that we will feel it, and it's triggering some big stuff in the field. So this month is like the peak, reset, check out where you've been, what's changed. If you want to set goals with the new moon, maybe there's a new goalpost that you're tuning into, and really let that speak to you in preparation for eclipses next month. And then we move into big energy next year, which will be triggered off by the really spectacular royal conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in the first degree of Aquarius on December 21st, solstice time. Wow, wow, wow. I cannot wait to see what that's bringing in. Again, I'm not saying it's all going to be good. It's not about good. It's about transformation. It's about revolution. And it's about our species, whether we realize it or not, adjusting our paradigm to reflect what we're becoming, who and what we're becoming. So it's not good or bad. It's not a war between, good and evil. It's really not. It's just how the cycles work. So when you get out of, the good and bad and the fear, you'll see, oh, okay, it's shifting, and technology is a tool. It's an extension of us. It's not some evil force outside of us. This is the Capricorn trip, that it's outside of you, power's outside of you. Let the government take care of it. Wait for permission. Aquarius is coming in. Aquarius is the water bearer, pouring his water of equality, equity over all of reality. This is going to be seriously activated on the 21st of December. And then there's big astrological cycles kicking in over the next 5 years that are like, we're going into Aquarius. Get ready to see the power structures morph. There's always going to be hierarchy. There's never going to be, we're all just at the same. It's not possible, but we are going to, my sense in the coming decade, start to explore what Aquarius hierarchy is, the pods, it's not top down. It's almost like it's more horizontal. We'll see this in business. We'll see this in home, families. We'll see this in community. We'll see more, not tribal law coming back. We're not going to go back into tribal law. We're going to go into new paradigms that we are going to be exploring. And if you're an inquisitive, exploratory human, be excited. And yeah, there'll be a shadow and there'll be light in all of it, but it will be different. So for now, though, harness this lunar month, really take stock, really allow the reset. Don't buy into the spin. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, there's some Neptune, I won't go into all this astrology, but just don't get involved in the frequency. Just don't. It's not worth it. Limit your time. Like, go and have a look at what's going on. I love to be informed. Just be really wise about it. Okay, I'm sending you all love. I really wish you well through this month. I really wish you sovereignty. I wish you the wisdom to know that this will pass, but I also wish you the courage to work with these cycles to benefit your own personal evolution. Aquarius is about the individual evolving as a gift, as an offering, as a benefit back to the collective. That's my wish for you all. I will see you all again next month. Thanks for listening, letting me express my perspective on all of this and my view on these cycles. It helps me a lot. So I wish you all well. So much love, everybody.